So you just launched a brand new Ecomm store and you're wondering, I'd like to do Google ads, but should I start with standard shopping or Performance Max, right? Okay, so maybe you've got a limited budget, no historical data really. What should you choose? So it's definitely not going to be an either or. So I'll start off by saying that. I certainly think you should do some experimentation. It's all about positioning yourself for the best results, right? And then being ready to be flexible and change those later. And that's definitely a theme that you'll see me bring up in a lot of videos. Performance Max has a lot of different flavors. There is a predominantly shopping style of Performance Max that is just the product feed connected to the campaign, and there's going to be some display in there, display network ads, as well as some search ads in some cases, as well as now some YouTube Shorts as of the shooting of this video. So it's not really full shopping only, but it's usually predominantly going to still be shopping. So that is one approach. If you'd like to do Performance Max, that is what I call a full build, that's search, shopping, YouTube, display, etc. In that case, it's going to be probably more expensive. It's going to take longer for it to build some data in order to make some accurate or reasonably accurate predictions about conversion rate, and therefore get you consistent performance and potentially scale. Usually I recommend not starting there if you're a brand new e-com business, though if you're very aggressive, you're VC backed, and your tolerance for risk is really high, well in that case, yeah, we might want to try that. Or we might want to try separating shopping feed only type of PMax from an asset only Performance Max campaign that essentially goes after everything except for shopping, whereas the other one is predominantly shopping. Again, not going to be a perfect separation between those, but that's another approach if you fall into that bucket. But essentially for most, I would say you're either going to want to start with a feed only, basically a shopping Performance Max, or starting with a standard shopping campaign. Now, I wouldn't just say start with one standard shopping campaign. You are going to want to still build a query filtered standard shopping campaign structure. Now, this sounds really advanced, but essentially you're going to use, and there is some great help articles out there about this strategy, but essentially if you just type in standard shopping query filtering into Google or whatever search engine you like to use, you'll find more information about it. But essentially you will be deciding as best you can using the controls available which search terms will fall into which standard shopping campaigns so that you can bid and budget accordingly. And really the idea is to maximize things that are search terms that are likely to convert, like product SKUs, product names, your brand name, and bid and budget differently than every other type of term that might show up, or high converting terms versus no converting terms or just generic terms you don't have much expectation around. Now, you don't have a lot of data historically, so you are going to want to use as best you can Google's Keyword Planner, Microsoft Keyword Planner if you have Microsoft ads, as well as maybe other programs, softwares out there like SEMrush, Ahrefs, etc. There's a lot of good things out there. I really like Keywords Everywhere, the Google Chrome extension. It's a great tool, really low cost at the moment. So definitely check that out. Now, if you're a very niche product, this is going to be a lot trickier. You might not have very reliable cost per click data or keyword data in those research tools. So in that case, you're going to be doing a little bit more of a guesstimate. I tend to like to lean on the more aggressive side when starting those manual bids. If you're going to do manual bidding, you could also do maximize clicks or a target return ad spend, but most advertisers would not recommend starting with an automated bid strategy if there's no conversion history in the account. Yeah, you can. I've seen it work, but it's not usually the best way to start. So if you're going to start with manual bidding in your really niche product, set the best guess that you can and be ready to change very, very quickly based on the search terms that you're getting in there. Obviously, add a ton of negatives within every single day. I would just get in there even on the weekends. Sorry, but you're going to be busy adding lots of negative keywords to those campaigns. Make sure that your query filtering is still working properly. As well as you're not promoting and you're not showing ads for any search terms that you really would rather not show for. So that is one option. Certainly recommend it for a lot of people. You can also go with the Performance Max feed only type of campaign. This is if your risk tolerance for risk is a little bit higher, or you just want to get as much data as quickly as possible. This way you can utilize a bid strategy like max conversions or max conversion value without a TROAS or a TCPA. It's more aggressive. It's going to try to really make sure that it spends your full daily budget. It might not in the first day or so, but just so do keep that in mind. But it's going to be the most aggressive way that you can go about it if you want to do that. And again, this is trusting more of an automated bid strategy, which is likely not going to be the best start for most, unless you are in a one exception would be if your products or whatever products that you're going to promote are really like well-known products. It's not something that Google probably hasn't seen before, like home goods, stuff like that. If there's a good expectation, Google recognizes what your products are and your product feed is relatively well optimized, you might be able to do well with an automated bid strategy. But again, test it. It may or may not work well for you to start. You might be better off starting with a standard shopping campaign, gain all those insights into search terms, as well as cost per click. Start getting an idea of rough benchmarks for your account that you can later make some strategic changes with later to better optimize your account in the direction that you want it to go.